Hello and welcome everyone. I am Nitin Vasist and I'm thrilled to host today's webinar on AI powered call intelligence in BFSI. On behalf of the team at WalkingTree Technologies, thank you for joining us. We are about to dive deep into how AI is transforming the way BFSI companies handle voice communication from real time analysis to compliance automation and predictive insights. Let's give a moment for a few more attendees to settle in. If you are new to WalkingTree Technologies, welcome all. We are a digital transformation company passionate about solving real world problems with intelligent, scalable, and open technologies. Over the years, we have been at the forefront of innovation in AI, open source development, and enterprise software engineering. From generative AI to modern application architecture, we help businesses in BFSI, healthcare, retail, and more achieve operational excellence. Today, we'll showcase how our AI-driven call intelligence platform fits into the journey. We would love to make this an engaging session. So, here a quick prompt for everyone. Share in the chat one challenge you face in managing voice-based customer interaction. Is it compliance, call scoring, fraud monitoring? So, we'll picking up a few responses to talk about during the QA session. Also, drop your questions anytime in the QA tab. We'll take them up towards the end. Let me now introduce our expert speakers for today. Suman Ravuri, VP Engineering at WalkingTree, with over a decade of experience. Suman leads innovation in enterprise AI and digital transformation. He has built high-performing teams and driven success across complex BFSI projects. Suman will walk us through an architectural backbone of our AI call intelligence system, focusing on Whisper AI, Kafka, and ChatGPT integration. The second one is Ravindar Thummarajula, Senior Technology Lead at WalkingTree. Ravindra brings deep expertise in Java, Angular, AWS, and scalable solution delivery. He'll showcase the live demo highlighting how we process voice data and end-to-end from transcription to sentiment fraud detection, fraud flagging, and compliance scoring.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you all. Thank you for joining. Based on the location where you are, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Uh, so, what we do is that I'll briefly cover the agenda. So then we'll deep dive into our webinar. So what we do as part of agenda, I'll be covering the what is this call analytics and what kind of challenges generally we face in implementing these call analytics solutions, and what kind of opportunities that AI powered call analytics is bringing in. Then we go a bit deep into in terms of we built a small application that can take care of that will demonstrate a call analytics part of it. So there we'll present a very simple architecture, dumbed down architecture to make it easy for all other people also to understand. Then we'll be giving the live demonstration, where in that live demonstration, we will show a conversation between an agent and a prospect customer. And after the call is concluded, the system will be producing the analytics around it. We'll be demonstrating those analytics. Then apart from that, maybe after the demo, we'll be covering, okay, apart from the demo, the use cases that we presented, we'll cover about additional use cases that we cover in the BFSI example, like fraud detection, customer experience management. So these use cases are primarily, okay, what we can do, it will show what we can do and what kind of benefits we'll get. After that, we'll go to the Q&A section. So yeah, looking forward to have a great session. Okay, so let's start. So let's understand like call analytics. Most of you know. So it is about a process of capturing and transcribing and analyzing voice-based interactions. So this voice-based interaction can be a call on the Zoom video call, Zoom video call, or Google Meet call, or it can be you're making a phone call, or it may be VoIP call. So different types of mediums will be there, but and in that conversation you'll have different types of people. So most likely one person is a prospect, other person is a agent representing the customer. So understanding the conversation between them, and extracting insights about what kind of communication past patterns, customer sentiment, are we is our agent providing a proper service quality. So a lot of things can be done through call analytics, but this is a area that it is really picking up to provide a better service to our customers. Okay. So that's the introduction about call analytics. Next. So as we're talking about call analytics or call intelligence, uh, uh, we have certain challenges in doing the call analytics because over the past years, maybe till 21, 22, uh, uh, a lot of analytics were built, but most of the analytics were built on the structured data. Okay, so very difficult to build analytics around unstructured data. That's where teams were struggling. So, but most of the call data that you see is unstructured data. So, and it is a bit difficult to analyze, and when you scale that, it is even difficult to process it. Okay, and the traditional tools lack real-time analytics capabilities. So when you say traditional tools, traditional voice tools, be it Google Meet, be it uh, uh, direct phone call conversation. So these tools, they do not come inbuilt with real-time analytics capabilities because they're not meant for it. Okay. The next other challenge is that, okay, generally sometimes you have a data available in CRM, sometimes data available in IVR, sometimes data is available in logs. So combining all of that and creating the unified insight is another challenge. Okay. And many times calls will be in different languages, and they also cover different accents, and call volumes also going to be very high. So handling that much of high volume data. Another thing is that it's difficult to detect whether our agent is really echoing the sentiment of the customer, or is our agent really uh, giving the required intent, at least showing the required intent. If if our agent is violating those things, detecting is very very difficult. Okay. Then if you have to put a manual review process, it is going to be slow and inconsistent because different human interprets different things in a different way, and it's a resource incentive intensive. And sometimes people try to implement some kind of rule-based systems, but the biggest challenge with any rule-based systems is that they don't really consider the context that you give around it. Okay. And along with all these things, and creating these kind of analytic systems, and then creating this monitoring across different regions and teams is a further difficulty. So these are the challenges that generally people face with call analytics kind of applications. Okay. Then I am going to cover about opportunities next. Yeah. So with these challenges in place, so what kind of potential opportunities that you can visualize with this call analytics? So you can unlock actionable insights, because many times the conversation happened between the customer and agent. Many times you don't know whether to act on it or how to act on it. But now when you put the call analytics, you can unlock actionable insights, and then you can use this data to improve customer experience and loyalty. Example that maybe based on the conversation you say that, okay, a customer is expecting this kind of service from us, so that we'll be able to practically go and offer that service. So then customer experience will be better and his loyalty will also increase. Then you can do a quality monitoring, because agents, uh, whether they're doing the real good work or not, what at what level, because not every agent is doing the good quality work. Then go and identify the scope for improvement. And many times uh, 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 organizations have to follow certain compliance, but whether those complaints are really translated into the real actions when people are talking, those can be validated. We can even take real-time decision making in terms of, okay, if customer is talking about something, and if agent does not have answer, then system can go and pick up, give that as a support. uh, AI powered system can give that support to the human agent. So it allows even human agent to take a real-time decisions also. And parallel, you can identify upsell, cross-sell opportunities. Uh, and the important aspect is that we can even do the fraud detection. That means, okay, they're based on certain pattern, system will identify the kind of conversation the prospect is having or a customer is having, it may be a fraudulent call. So system can detect that part of it. Okay. And it also strengthens regulatory reporting because as most of the system is digitalized, so you can convert the regulatory aspect. Example, my team is following all the compliance rules. Okay, so that can be a regulatory reporting. Okay? And even system will be automatically audit readiness will be is quick, immediate. Okay, and along with all this stuff, so we can drive efficiency so that manual effort is reduced. Okay? So you don't need to sit and watch how things are happening. System will validate and give, because if human has to read and understand all these calls, analyze and take decisions, it is going to be a lot of resource intensive and may not be very consistent. Okay? So that's the potential opportunities. Then comes to this, so what AI powered call analytics can do. Okay, so with AI powered call analytics, you can do a real time insight extraction. So you can instantly convert actionable conversations into actionable intelligence and for faster decisions. Example, so based on the conversation, our system may recommend, hey, maybe for this kind of customer this product is good. Okay, so that immediately maybe customer will be happy. Even my agent may not have that knowledge immediately, but system will guide human agent to do that activity. Then emotional and behavioral analysis part of it. So go and detect the customer sentiment. So if a customer tone is shifting, so system highlights that, hey, customer is turning red. So human agent may need to change what he's taking, what he's talking, so that he'll change his pattern of discussion to something else. Okay, and also system tells that, okay, hey, this is indicating some kind of a dissatisfaction from customer. Okay, and proactive fraud detection. So as a technology is getting better and the chance of a fraud, doing fraud is also increasing parallelly, but then we need to put a proactive fraud detection systems, and these systems will help you because based on the conversation, system may identify, hey, there is a chance that this transaction is going to be highly fraudulent transaction. The next is the automated compliance monitoring. So you can bring in whether our agents are following these regulatory scripts, because based on the country that we are living in, there will be some regulations, and according to those regulations, certain scripts will be prepared, and whether agent is following those scripts or not, is he disclosing something that is not supposed to be disclosed? All that information is uh, can be covered. Okay. Then this is another important, very important aspect is scalability across channels. So whether the voice communication or audio communication or to some extent a video communication, whether it is happening through IVR or VoIP or meetings like Gmeet or this one. So we can have a unified pipeline, so one pipeline that takes the data, and that pipeline uh, takes this voice data and converts into the intelligent data. Then it reduces overall operational head in terms of manual audits. It improves efficiency, and system detects uh, okay, scope for improvement at multiple places. Example, is our script enough or not to communicate to our customer? Is our script is good enough or not? That kind of communication. And it also enables a smarter workforce management, that is primarily in terms of as we continue to give that feedback, then based on that we can even devise create different training options, different training courses for the different agents. Accordingly, overall our workforce management's efficiency and quality will also increase, which turns to be a smarter workforce management. So these are the advantages that AI powered call analytics will bring to you. So with this, I'll hand over to my colleague Ravinder. So he's going to cover you that default architecture. and then we'll go to the demo.
Yeah, thanks, Suman. Thanks for the overview. Yeah, so I'll be taking through the architecture, the app which we have implemented, the like for this call analytics, whatever the app we have implemented, this is the architecture. So what we are doing, so we'll be having the best. Yeah, thanks, Suman. Thanks for the overview. Yeah, so I'll be taking through the architecture, the app which we have implemented, the like for this call analytics, whatever the app we have implemented, this is the architecture. So what we are doing, so we'll be having the based on the product. So we'll have the agents who has like every organization or every entity will have the agents based on the project knowledge. So it will have the human agents and the real customer. So based on this conversation, that could be happen through Google Meet or Zoom, whatever it is. So we'll have the chatbot which will be joining the call along with the human agent. So based on this video call, so what it is happening, it is going to listen the audio. So it is going to extract the audio information based on the call, and it will store this information into the our system on the shared drive. So the mic and the speaker. So mic is the one it captures the agent's audio, and the speaker is the one the customer who joined as a customer. So both audio, like the both conversations, both from the agent side and the customer side, it extracts the both audio information and keeps in the shared drive. So whatever the audio, which is the audio file which is generated, it keeps on the shared drive, and then it informs through the Kafka to the other system. The other system is the Whisper AI, which we have used as a part of this application. What it will do when the communication comes from the audio extractor, so it reads that what is the audio which needs to generate the text. What Whisper will do, it will generate the audio by going through the path, and it generates the text. Then for the entire audio, what is the audio text it is generated, then it summarizes the if any slang issues are there, so it represents that information. Then so we will be using the GPT based on the complete conversation, the text. We are going to use the GPT to generate the sentiment and predictive information. So the primary purpose of this sentiment thing is like to understand the what Suman mentioned, right? Right, this to understand the customer satisfaction level, any fraud related things are there. So to come out from that kind of information, so we will be generating this sentiment and predictive information that I am going to show as a part of the demo as well. Once we have this information, this sentiment and prediction information, then we'll be showing this information on the dashboard itself. So in a given day, like what are the how many number of calls are happening, the higher management, the people who are responsible in the organization, right, they can see so how many calls happened today. Now what is the each call output. So the customer is like willing to proceed further based on the conversation. So by looking the just dashboard, they should be able to understand that. So this is the high level architecture which we followed as a part of the like application which we have implemented for this analytics. Yeah, I'll be moving. The analytics solution, so we uses as a part of this application, primarily we uses the Kafka for the asynchronous communication between the services. See audio to Whisper and Whisper to sentiment analysis. The primary communication model we have used. This is the best tool for the asynchronous communication. And the Whisper we have used for the text extraction and the optimize further due to like all the multilingual slang issues. So we have used Whisper and the ChatGPT for the sentiment and prediction generation, and to identify this fraud or customer experience, sales conversation, all those details. So this architecture, right, this modular and the cost effective. This whatever the tools we have used, right? This for Python sound card we have used to capture the audio information. This is like open source only. The only thing which is like a little bit only chargeable item is the GPT. So cost effective real time use case for that purpose we have used, and this is cloud agnostic. Whatever we have chosen, we should be able to deploy this. Like we should be able to this setup on the any cloud environment, that could be Azure or AWS or Google Cloud environment. Also, we should be able to set up this thing in the even on-premises environment or hybrid environment also. And whatever we have implemented, it should be easily pluggable into any CRMs or compliance tools, or we should be able to show it on the any kind of dashboard. So there are no limitations way to integrate kind of thing. So based on the need, like we should be able to bring this tool into any of the applications. So the what the workflow is happening, the primarily thing first, it is captures the high quality audio streams from the live or scheduled calls to reliably input for the analysis purpose. This is just now just I have taken through the uh, architecture. This is a similar thing. This first we are capturing the audio, then we are communicating through Kafka, then Whisper is generating the text. Then what we are doing, the we are generating the what the based on the conversation, we are generating the speaker derivation, like what is the conversation which like what kind of questions are being asked by the customer, how our agent is performing, how our agent is responding to the questions, that kind of thing. Conversations also, we are raw conversations, what the questions, answers which are given by the agent, that raw conversations are also we are maintaining. The remaining thing is the sentiment and prediction analysis. So then we are showing it in one of the dashboard. This is a similar thing, just I'm going to the in detail. From video to audio, like so the what is the value we are going to derive so through this, right? So for primarily based on the call conversation from agent to the customer, it classifies the such as classifies the emotions, such as like based in the conversation, customer is shy, is shown the frustration, or did he show the satisfaction, or based on the answers which our agent has given, whether customer is confused or not. So what is the final outcome of the customer? Like what is the final satisfaction level? What is the emotion is customer's emotion, that we should be able to identify. So based on the analysis, customer, like are there any customer pain points or moments where certain based on the conversation questions where the based on the agent's answer, whether customer is dissatisfied, are there any dissatisfaction moments in the whole call conversations? Those things also we should be able to identify. And the is there any agents negative behavior or tone during the tone deviations, like what based on the if the customer is asking multiple questions due to like understanding issues, are there like our agent is getting is deviating from his like polite tone kind of thing. Those things also we should be able to identify. And it also supports the proactive escalations, supports proactive escalations or intervention workflows, enables the further like enables the trend analysis across like large call volumes also. If the call goes like more than 1 hour, or like irrespective of the call duration, we should be able to analyze the analysis. The primary thing is like it enhances the overall customer experience, so we should be able to monitor through dashboards in the single place. So and we should be able to apply the filters, and we can see all the calls and see the information, and take like proactive decisions from the management side. So this is a primary like value which we can see based on the analysis. So then we can see the live demo, what we have implemented based on the conversation. So from here, I'll be taking to the different call where so assumption like there is a ICICI Bank in India. It launched the I wish flexible recurring deposit product. Okay, so now one of our colleague is acting as a customer, and one of the colleague is acting as a agent from the ICICI Bank. So how this conversation is going to happen, and from there we can see the sentiment and prediction how it our app is going to generate. So I'm taking through the call, so we can see.
Hi, I heard about ICSC Bank. I wish deposit. Can you tell me what it is?
Absolutely. iWish is a flexible recurring deposit that lets you save for specific goals like vacations, gadgets, or education. Unlike traditional recurring deposits, you don't have to deposit a fixed amount every month. You can contribute any amount anytime based on your convenience.
Sounds interesting. Is there a minimum deposit amount or lock-in period?
There is no fixed deposit amount for each month, but the minimum amount per transaction is 50 rupees. The minimum treasure is 6 months, and it can go up to 10 years. You choose the tenure and goal amount at the time of creation.
How is the interest calculated and credited?
Interest is compounded quarterly and credited at maturity. The rate of interest is similar at standard recurring deposits, and it depends on the treasure and the prevailing rate at the time of booking.
Can I withdraw the amount before maturity if I need funds urgently?
Yes, you can withdraw the funds before maturity. However, premature withdrawal will attract a low interest rate, about 1% less than the applicable rate for the actual period that deposit was held.
Can I create multiple I wish deposit for different goals?
Absolutely. You can create multiple iWish deposit through ICICI Internet Banking or iMobile Pay, each for different goals. You can even share your goals with friends and family if you wish to crowdsource support.
This sounds perfect for my travel plans. Thank you for explaining everything so clearly.
You're most welcome. I'm glad to help you. iWish is a great way to save without pressure and keeps you motivated towards your goals. If you need help in setting up or have any questions, feel free to reach out anytime.
Will do. Thanks again. Look forward to starting my goal with ICSC.
Wonderful. We are excited to be part of your journey. Have a great day and happy savings with ICICI Bank.
Yeah, I think we can drop. Thanks. Yeah, this is a live call analysis. Both played. One played as a customer, one played as a uh, agent. So this is where we can schedule a call. So this is one of the sample application which we have created. This is like audio call analysis. So here we should be able to schedule meeting with who we want to, like who is the meeting with, is the agent and the customer. So customer email. These are the details which we can schedule. Let me show the whatever the conversation which happened just now. So this in progress, this is going to generate the conversation. So it will take some time, like maybe a couple of minutes. Yeah, so once this call happened based on this audio extraction, so it has to generate based on the audio file, it has to generate the text. From based on the text, it has to generate the sentiment and prediction. Let me show the existing. So how it will show this, whatever the raw conversation happened from the between the customer and the agent. So the customer and the agent, what are the questions which are happened, still we can see this raw conversation and the overall prediction and sentiment. The prediction, it is saying the status is willing, the customer shows interest in the product and asks the detailed questions and expresses gratitude and indicating a willingness to continue. So this kind of prediction we can show, and the sentiment is positive. The customer expresses the interest and asks relevant questions and appreciates the information provided. Customer sentiment is positive throughout the conversation. This kind of details we can show. Yeah, this is going to show. Yeah, we also created the few dashboards in the Redash. So these dashboards we can create, and dashboards can be created and published into the any of the applications where the management team can have access to the dashboards, right? So now let me show the customer sentiment analysis. How the in the dashboards you can choose, like based on the questions which were asked by the customer, right? The customer's response. So I had, like, customer asked this, I heard about ICICI banks IBS deposit, can you tell me? So the year, like, what is the sentiment? The sentiment is neutral. The intent is she did a product inquiry. Now, so next, the based on the customer's response is sounds interesting. Is there a minimum deposit amount and any lock-in period? This thing is positive and clarification in terms. So based on the each question and answer, So what's the sentiment for each thing, whether it is a neutral or positive, or like very positive means there is a chance that this customer is going to proceed and proceed with the recurring deposit. So it may convert as a one real time real customer. So initially she onboarded onto the call, she inquired, and the final conclusion is like she is going to become a real customer. That kind of thing, like we are going to have this each question and answer level, we are generating the a sentiment as well, the intent as well, commitment to use or goal initiation. So what is the intent? We can see these details, this kind of analytics also we can generate. And this is a Redash thing at this moment, and we can integrate this Redash dashboard into any of the applications, any web applications. We should be able to pull dashboards and we can show there as well. So there is another thing which we have done is based on the call conversation. Yeah. So based on the call conversation, we can see. So customer asks different questions, and the agent answers all the answers. Now, what is the chance of buying? Chance of buying is one, means like there is a chance of one. So we have given this values 0 to 1. So if the one is means like customer is ready to buy. So these are the some conversation feature analysis. We have kept some features and we are trying to derive the relevant values for the from the conversation. Okay. Script optimization scope. So whatever the our agent is using the script to explain to answer to the customer, so that agents provides clear and structured response flow. So whatever the best on the customer when she or he asked, so looks good in the script optimization is better. Okay, so if there is a certain thing the feature is can be measured in the number that will come. Anything that can be explained, it gives in the text, so with the relevant information. Okay. Pitch effectiveness, multiple benefits, pitch effectively, travel flexible. So this is also positive future. And a suspicious price detection. Customers asked about urgent funds. So he asked, so he will so this thing is considered as a one of the any praises in the whole conversation, which comes under suspicious thing. So in this conversation, it like funds deduct withdraw considered as a suspicious thing. And the scam pattern recognition 0. So in the whole conversation, this thing was not identified. If it is identified, we can see certain value here. And to early risk escalation, I think it was not identified. Script compliance as per regulation 0.6. So this it is like more than average. So it is following the whole whatever the our agent is explaining. It is under regulations only. And disclosure and advisory detection, agent disclosures premature withdrawal penalty or minimums. These things were explained by the our agent. So this kind of these attributes we can extend. So what kind of details we want to derive based on the conversation through call conversation, we can extend further if you want to capture any other details also. It is like it is in our hand only. What are the attributes we want to capture? This is yeah, this is the like demonstration where we are able to see the sentiment and prediction details and some customer experience level fraud related details we should be able to derive. Let- So what are the use cases? So yeah, so which we have mentioned. I'm handovering to Suman from here.
Thank you, Ravi. So, see, we did show some high level the call analytics part of it, where we did extract a certain sentiment and willingness to buy. So, I'll be covering some other use cases that we can do based on this call analytics. So, so this is a fraud and risk detection. So in Ravi's demonstration, he already did show that did people identify any risky phrase or a phrase or any pattern related to risk. So that's a fraud and risk detection. So so based on that, system should be able to detect. So it can ask, it can check, okay, any suspicious phrases are coming, or any anomalies are being detected, or any scam pattern. So that means, okay, when people are asking some questions, so based on the past training data, so system will identify, "Hey, these are the scam patterns." So system will detect it. And early risk escalation also. That means, okay, uh, in the starting of the call itself, in the or in the early stages of prospect identification, so we can identify risk and we can escalate. And another thing is that fraud models enrichment, because there are predictive models, may not be Gen AI models. People build to uh, uh, to predict chances of fraud. Okay, so when we give these voice-based indicators as an input, so those fraud scoring models will also get better. So that's another benefit that we can derive. And audit automation also. So uh, we can have uh, we can rely on the system to generate these audit, so that we can reduce on the manual call audits. Okay. So these are all the different features that can be implemented as part of a fraud and risk detection in the call analytics. Yeah, now we can see the benefits, business impact. So yeah, it improves the fraud detection speed and accuracy. Then it reduces, obviously it reduces the financial and reputational risk. uh, then it reduces auditing time. So you don't need to spend a lot of time in auditing. And it strengthens regulatory and internal compliance. So there may be some regulatory compliances, there may be some internal compliances based on the company, based on the your company standards. You'll have your own internal compliance. So it strengthens those compliance. Okay. Then it also supports a proactive fraud investigation. So the data that you provide, it helps in the fraud investigation. Okay. So that's the business impact. So we'll go to another use case now. So this is a customer experience. This is very, very important. So part of it Ravi did show, and part of it did not show. So example, sentiment trend tracking. So to some extent he derived, because he's tracking the sentiment for each conversation from the customer. Uh, so that can also be derived as some pattern saying that, hey, customer is happy as long as you speak about this, but customer is not so happy when you're talking about this. So be watchful about it. So that's part we can identify. So it is not that just after the end of the call, but at every level, this can be sentiment can be tracked, so that when you make it real time, even agent can also change the conversation, dynamically adjust to it. The next is the issue recurrence detection. So this may not be for the new prospects, but in terms of an existing customer, when customer is calling and informing about certain issue, and if the issues are repeating, so that's a very good thing. That, okay, we'll go and say, hey, this customer uh, repeated, or this for this customer this issue reoccurred 3 times in last 4 months time. Okay, so that kind of analytics is very, very valuable. It or maybe as a company, these kind of issues are recurring. Okay, so that kind of a data will help us to go and do some activities, or go and do some actionable insights, so that we can act and fix those issues. Okay. And the next is automated quality scoring. So based on the how agent is performing, so whether his tone is good or not, whether his conversation is really engaging or not, or the compliance indicators. So as we start giving this automated score uh, for the agents, so agents will strive to be getting better score, and that means they'll become smarter, either through by putting additional effort in improving themselves, or by taking some courses to get better. But that leads to the further better customer experience. Okay. Then then next is, many times during the call or after the call, people does not realize, uh, is it my conversation aggravated the problem, or agent's conversation aggravated the problem, or it is uh, not so it is solving the problem. So if there is a possibility of escalation, system will detect. Okay. And next is the agent coaching insights. So system will detect, hey, say these are the possibilities that our agent should increase, should work on. These are the improvement areas that agent has. Then other is the maybe based on the conversation, system extracts some kind of insights which increases further NPS score and do something so that customer is uh, going to stay loyal to our system. So that's the customer experience. So this is business impact. So it helps you to boost your NPS and it reduces customer churn and improves first call resolution. This is a very important aspect because if a customer is calling for the first time, if you're resolving the problem on the same call, so that's where uh, it uh, it really increases, makes the customer experience a lot better. Okay. So this improves customer first call resolution is primarily that apart from call analytics, as we start providing additional data to human agent based on the call conversation, then it facilitates human agent to solve that problem in the first call itself. Okay, so that's the first call resolution. Then enables that we can targetedly train. Okay, hey, this agent needs to improve on the tone part of it. Hey, this agent needs to improve on the knowledge part of it. Or this agent is very good in tone and knowledge, but these conversations are not so engaging. Then it supports a continuous service optimization. So we continue to get the feedback, how systems are performing, how our agents are performing, so which will we will drive the towards uh, continuous service optimization. Next. Yeah, this is another thing that most of the BFS systems uh, they they very seriously follow. Okay, so they should be compliant to the regulations and they should facilitate a better audit. Okay, so system can do a regulatory script monitoring. So as per the regulations, whether script is being done or not, script is being followed or not. So whether someone is disclosing some information that is not supposed to be disclosed, and uh, even we create from this system can create those audit trails so that those audit trails can be searchable and and compliance behavior. So example, if uh, some agent is not behaving as per the compliance standards, system will flag immediately so that uh, so that it flag immediately so that corresponding intervention can happen. It can be even if agent is not using appropriate language or if he's deviating from the script, system will identify and inform. And uh, again, you don't need to spend a lot of time in terms of risky interactions to identify it in a human through human. So system will automatically uh, tags that okay, this is a risky transaction. Okay. Then this auditing will get better because you do not need to uh, because even auditing can also be automated. That's other good advantage that okay, so it's a very because mostly the how the auditing happens, so they pick up maybe samples and the human will verify those samples and assumes based on the sample, okay, we are saying that the system is compliant. But with this kind of system in place, even auditing can also be automated, and so that we can check all the 100 samples or 1,000 samples that are created. Again, the business impact, so it increases the visibility and consistency, and it reduces the risk of penalties that we companies may have to pay if you deviate from the regulatory standards, and it reduces manual auditing workload, and it ensures a complete compliance, whether every call is compliant or not. It's not that you just do audit for one or two. Okay, and it also enables a structured audit preparation and documentation. Next. Yeah, this is another activity that most of the sales teams are focused. So that is sales and conversion optimization. So as businesses are becoming competitive, and so conversion and optimization is the biggest challenge. So in this process, so if you can optimize it, that is a very good thing. So some of the things that Ravi did demonstrate. So whether this customer is buying, whether he gave an indication that the buying signal is going to buy or not. So Ravi might have mentioned it as a chance of buying, right? Then any chance that we have to improve our script so that they'll be able to do better. The next is the pitch pattern analysis. Again, verifying that whether the pitch is good or not. And sometimes agents improvise the pitch, and those are the high performing agents, and they should be system should identify those things, and it will system will identify, and maybe it's an opportunity to recognize those kind of agents. Okay. And real time coaching support. So maybe system can provide a feedback on the call itself. Not only feedback, sometimes the systems extracts a good information and support agent to provide the data. Okay. And again, sometimes now we find it difficult to do the lead scoring. That means whether this lead that that we are chasing, is it a good lead or not. So based on the conversation, we can even derive the lead score, so that based on that we can figure out whether you want to spend more time with this lead or not. That can also be done. Okay. And it also helps you that, okay, hey, okay, customer spoke this, most likely this lead, a prospect is lead is a good lead. So what kind of a target or follow-up strategy that we should follow. Okay. So that's the sales. And again, the business impact is that, which is all we intend to get. So increase the sales conversion rates. So most of the companies, what they were targeting is that, okay, have certain human agents. Uh, Now, based on I have example, I have 100 sales agents in my organization. So with these 100 agents, I'm generating a revenue of some say X. Now with this kind of tool in place, so it facilitates that, okay, with these 100 agents, I want to make it a 4x sales. Okay. So that can happen only when you have the higher sale conversion rates. And it improves the agent performance, because as the agent performance, because we'll give continuous feedback to the agents. And it enhances lead qualification. So lead qualification is also a very important aspect, because many times we may end up chasing a lead uh, that may not be good, or we may not be focused on the lead that is most qualified, and there is a higher chance of winning. So these insights will help you to do a better qualification of the lead. And yeah, it helps you with a revenue growth, and it reduces missed opportunities, and it converts high intent conversions. So this is the business impact. So with this, I'm concluding. Now we can move to the Q&A section.
Suman and Ravin, we have received a few questions in our QA tab. So I would like to request you please provide some responses to those questions.
Sure, sure. I'll take this up. Shivani had a question that how do you see predict voice analytics evolving in next 12 to 18 months, especially with Gen AI capabilities expanding rapidly? Uh, this is a very good question, Shivani. So, and it's difficult, as you in the mentioned, as rapidly it is changing. So, very difficult to predict. But what my prediction is that, uh, uh, apart from, I think I was kind of alluding to that to some extent in my presentation. So, it is not just customer sentiment analysis, but human agent will be supported by the uh, bots. So bots will start recommending something. Hey, uh, do this conversation, share this data. Sometimes human agent may not know something, but the bot will come and say, hey, you have this information. Okay. Other aspect is that sometimes human agent will join the call, and the bot will also join call. A bot will also join the call, and whenever human agent feels that he does not have the data, he can ask bot, "Hey bot, can you please take this question?" and it'll answer. So I see that in future, uh, these bots, system software bots, AI bots, will become more collaborative to the human, and they make human agents more and more powerful. So that's what I visualize. But that's my prediction now. But as things are changing very rapidly, maybe it may take a new turn also. Okay. The next question is from Aryan Jain. So the question is that what has been the biggest blocker for BFSI firms when it comes to adopting real-time call intelligence? Uh, the biggest challenge, as you mentioned, the technology mindset or compliance fears. The biggest challenge that they ask us is the primarily compliance part of it. Okay. So the example is that okay, hey, you're telling that we are using ChatGPT. So are you sending all our data to ChatGPT? And if a ChatGPT uses this data, that means we are not compliant. We are not supposed to share the data to a third-party system or a system that is hosted outside our cluster. So that's the major challenge. Technology, I see most of the BFSI firms, especially um, uh, financial services companies, they are uh, uh, very quick in adopting to technology. So we don't see that as a challenge. Banks do have some kind of a concern in terms of adoption part. Maybe when you relatively compare, so financial services companies adopt first, then insurance, and then banks. So this is the pattern we have seen. But banks also catching up. Even at least if you take India's context, RBI is really insisting that people have to move towards advanced technology. Banks should move to the advanced technology. Okay. Yeah. To answer your question, yeah, I see if you have to rate me, a compliance fears is a major issue. Okay. Next. Yeah. Then this, can you share a scenario? This question is asked by Ashish Gautam. Can you share a scenario where AI flagged a non-obvious fraud or a compliance issue, something human would have likely missed? Yeah, I think giving this answer as it is the answer is difficult. So what I'll do is that I'll give a how this can be achieved. I'll explain you how this can be achieved. So system might have already, because already there might have been frauds that have happened in the system over a period of time, and those records must have been stored. So what AI systems can do is systems can take all the data, the last past fraud data, and these AI systems will learn and derive pattern out of it. Okay. For a human, it is difficult because human may not be able to identify that pattern because that problem did not happen to him, or the person who trained him, or the regulation, the compliance rules that they have framed may not have covered that aspect of the fraud. But when you put an AI system in place, the AI system will be able to read the past data and interpret, hey, this conversation is also similar to the fraud that happened in the past, and it flags that. Okay. So uh, humans will be more powerful when there is a possibility of the collective intelligence. Collective intelligence means I learned something, I shared with you, you learned something, you shared with another people. All those 1,000 people, 2,000 people, all their collective learning shared to everyone else, then human will be able to detect. But it's practically difficult, because maybe even if I document my learning and if I give it to all remaining 100 agents, they may not be able to read it, they may not be able to understand the way it is supposed to understand, then detecting that kind of fraud by human in a real time or in a quicker mode is difficult. You have to put humans through a lot of learning, and they take their own sweet time to learn and they make mistakes. The moment we put it to system, it has a better chance of detecting those kind of obvious those kind of fraud that may not be not so obvious.
No, so no, Suman, it's enough.
Okay, okay. I think yeah, we're spot on. Thank you very much for all the time. Thank you.
A big thank you to our speakers, Suman and Ravin, for the deep insights and live demonstration today. And of course, thank you all of you who joined us. Your engagement made this session truly valuable. Before we sign off, I'm excited to announce our next webinar on July 17th, The Future of Enterprise Data Interaction, Autonomous Agents with RAG for Business Efficiency. We'll explore how retrieval augmented generation combined with autonomous agents is redefining enterprise productivity and data interaction. Don't miss this one. Until then, stay innovative. And we'll see you the next time. Thank you, all of us.